We begin our study of algebra with a review of arithmetic. And we begin our review of arithmetic by taking a look at the whole numbers. Now, what do I mean by the whole numbers? The whole numbers are just the regular counting numbers together with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. These are the whole numbers. But what do these actually represent? What does 3 mean? It's really hard to think about just 3 by itself. The most basic way we think about 3 is as representing a count. We can talk about having 3 of something. So we can think about having 3 squares, or 3 people, or 3 hearts. In general, we should think about this number as an adjective. That is, the word 3 modifies some noun, some word for a thing. We don't just have 3, we have 3 of something. And yet, when we do arithmetic, we just do arithmetic to 3. Why? Well, because each of these groups has something in common. It has in common the 3-ness of the group. So in some sense, 3 squares, or 3 people, or 3 hearts, or 3 of whatever, there's something in common there. There's something shared. And that's what we call 3. There's another way of thinking about the whole numbers that's a lot like as a count. We can also think about a whole number as a length. So if I were to draw a number line and say, okay, this distance is 1, and then I copy it, here's the same distance again, 1, 2, 3. I can say that this distance, the distance it takes me to get from 0 out to 3, I can think of this distance as 3. Now, you might say that's 3 of something. That's 3 of these little unit lengths. And you're absolutely right, that is 3 of something. But that conceptualization of 3 as a length is going to be helpful to us as we move forward. Now, once we've got our number line, we can also think of 3 as that point out at the end of that distance. So again, if I draw that number line, start at 0, go out to 1, 2, 3, and out here would be 4. I can think of this point on this number line as also being 3. So I can think of 3 as representing 3 things, a length that is 3 long, or just a single point along the number line whose distance from 0 is 3 and that lies to the right. There's one other way in which we use numbers, but I claim that this is just a count. We also use numbers as a measurement, so I could talk about 3 hours, or 3 miles, or 3 gallons. But again, this is the same as a count. Why? Well, 3 hours, this means there's a length of time called an hour. 3 hours is 3 of those. Same story with miles or gallons. A measurement is just like a count. Okay. Now, I also want to say just a few words about the way that we write numbers and the way that we understand the way that we write numbers. Let me write down a big number. So here's a really big number. How would we say its name? Let's see. We have these commas here, grouping every 3 digits. This group will be the units. This group will be the thousands. This group will be the millions. And this group, let's see, after millions comes billions. So the name of this number would be 82,900,053,781. So each of those groups of 3 digits has a name. 82, 900, 53, 781. And then for all but the last one, there's a word that says where we see 82. We see 82 in the billions group. We see 900 in the millions group. We see 53 in the thousands group. 781, we don't say anything, that's the units group. Whatever we have 82,900,053,781 of, that's what word would come next. If we had that many spiders, we would say 781 spiders. So what this 53 in the thousands group represents is just 53 thousands. We can go down a level further. From the groups, we can go down to the individual digits, the individual symbols. We can also go down to a finer level of detail, and we can say that, for example, this 8 in the 10 billions place represents 8 10 billions, or that this 3 in the thousands place represents 3 thousands. Again, we think of these numbers as representing counts. We have this thing called a 10 billion, and we have 8 of those. We have this thing called 1,000, and we have 3 of those. Or, looking at it from a little bit further back, we actually have 53 of those thousands. The way that we handle place value is another instance of thinking about the whole numbers as counting things. These two ideas of numbers, as representing a count or representing a length, are going to be very handy to us as we move forward and start to do arithmetic to the whole numbers, as we continue to move forward and start doing arithmetic to some slightly more complicated sorts of numbers, and even as we continue to work and begin to do algebra.